Welcome to all of you. We are very glad that so many of you were able to join this first of a series of talks that are based on sustainable agriculture. And the first speaker in this colloquium is going to be Mr. Patanjali Jha. Mr. Patanjali Jha is a senior officer in the income tax department. He's the Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax for Karnataka and Goa. He's currently based out of Goa, but he's someone who considers himself primarily as a farmer. He has a farm in Madhya Pradesh, not far from the Narmada River, like quite close to it. And we visited the farm in 2017. And the his farming practices are based on the principles of the Japanese farmer philosopher Masanobu Fukuoka. And when you're in the farm, one thing that strikes you is that there are a large number of trees. It's a food forest. There are a large number of trees, and these trees are the form a canopy from of some 5 to 7 layers in different places. And I would like him to speak about that to all of us today. And Mr. Patanjali Jha, thank you and welcome.
Now it has gone deep inside the soil. With the help of the roots, it comes back to the surface of the soil and becomes the food for trees and plants. It's brilliant. So basically, what your soil requires is a lot of mulch, little bit of animal waste, the slurry of that, and lots of roots in your soil. So I can never think of anything better than vetiver. Vetiver has very deep root system, and so it brings a micronutrient from the lower depths, and also this Fukuoka's definition. It is perfect, and it's a perennial grass of 100, which lasts for 100 years. It's a good fodder and great mulch, and enormous amount of biomass we get that. So in King of Thailand now is a main patron of vetiver. World Bank supports this grass as an example of bioengineering, and China has adopted it in its railroad stabilization, urban dumping site. Then Australia, it's small counties where they don't have enough funds. So their dumping site, all they do is put little more of soil, plant vetiver, put sprinklers. So the leachate is completely stopped. So your underground water is safe, and you have a greenery all around. Vietnam has done 3,200-kilometer road, Ho Chi Minh Road, road stabilization with vetiver. So just imagine this vetiver grass does some 15 kgs of carbon sink per square meter. So we plant typically, since now we have almost 5 crores vetiver, even after gifting 1.5 crore, and again we are gifting this year another 50 lakh to a crore. So even after gifting that, we have so much, because this is nature for you. They multiply 10 times. And 1.5 crore, which we gifted to Eco Task Force, has already become 15 crores. So we'll also see how, what amount of, you know, carbon sequestration it has been able to achieve, and some real photographs of this. So this is our farm full of vetiver. Not an inch of soil is seen. This is another very important thing. That if you cover the soil, she's Mother Earth, Mother, And if you are able to cover the soil from the year one, which is possible with vetiver and tuor and all other things, so there is no, the sunlight does not hit a hard surface. So sunlight has no chance of going back into the atmosphere. So where is the question of any global warming? Everything is harvested. So this is vetiver for you. This is, I'll show it later. And these are various examples. It purifies water also in the, in Vietnam, in the Piggery, this thing, effluent system. They have planted vetiver on a float, and it is purifying water. And yeah, this is what we had gifted to Marathwada at 7 different locations, 8 different locations we had gifted, including Kokrajhar and Gangaji, Marathwada. There is one Bharti Mines in Delhi, illegal mine. To Eco Task Force at Samba. So seed ball machines, seed balls, and vetiver. And this combination again will take 5 minutes to describe how it can transform our country with very little cost. So at one place in Marathwada, this 10 lakh vetiver in 2 installments or 3 installments has become, this was about a year back. Now we can safely presume that it would have multiplied at least 5 times more. Anyways, at that time it was 2 crore 3 lakhs. And he got it, examined by a professor that it was doing 175 tons of carbon sequestration at one place in Marathwada, which is the easily the driest zone in our country. This is the real picture of that place where our vetiver and their trees are. And this is a Zai pit, which is there to trap the water and trap the moisture. So, friends, if we take this at 7 different locations, 175 into 7 is about 1400 tons or something, and or close to that, 8 locations actually. And every year it will multiply by 7 times. So within a span of 4 years, it would be achieving 1 lakh ton of carbon sequestration. No industrialist, no business house effectively would have done that. This is Mother Nature for you. It multiplies. There you have to think development around nature. This is the result. So whatever we have promised to in Paris Agreement, we would now. I met a senior forester. She was saying that it's not possible with the existing forest system. I was saying, what if the farmers start growing this? Then said, of course. Here is an example. Per acre in our kind of farm, we can do minimum 1 lakh kg of carbon sequestration. 1 lakh kg. Now I have been speaking to my friends that this carbon credit they are granting to some of these chemical industries 400 crore, 350 crore per annum for having, hitherto they were giving so much of poison to Mother Earth, and now they have reduced the poison in a significant way, and for which they are being compensated 350 crore, 400 crore per annum. Fantastic. Here is a farmer who, with guarantee, I am saying, would be doing a carbon sink of 1 lakh kg per annum. At least give him 10,000 rupee. And he's not doing only the carbon sequestration. He's also lowering temperature by 5 degrees, 7 degrees. He's reviving the underground, recharging the underground water. He's reviving the river system, if it is in the basin of the river system. He is, attracting more rains. He is building the soil of a kind which the world has not known because of the no-till. and is creating livelihood, more employment. Who is the one who deserves carbon credit more than him? And he's curing people. Mind you, we'll again come back to that at some place. But this humble grass has so much of potential. So this we chose with the seed ball machines and the seed ball, which makes the survivability of that seed ball plants minimum 30% higher. So vetiver is amazing. And This is the photograph of our farm in Bihar. The above trees were planted by my uh, father-in-law and mother-in-law. Mother-in-law is no more there. And they all are trees, luckily, which have flowers. So excellent for the bees. They are kadam, they are shisham, they are cotton, silk cotton plants. They all have flowers and they all have food for the bees. And in between we have lots and lots of some pink pepper. Beneath that is the turmeric, and these turmeric have become more than 2 years old. Now we will see what magic it holds. Any turmeric which is more than 2 years old. Again, I'll say why I say that for me, nature is God. Every religion says that nature is the visible form of God. None of us are paying any attention to that. And now these are the minor infestations which the nature is nudging us. कि ठीक हो जाओ. नहीं तो only the human beings who are affected by the COVID, nobody else. So this multi-layer farm, where the temperature is significantly lower, which is a permanent food forest, and the quality of these produce, we grow lots and lots of moringa. Now the world is talking about moringa as a superfood. The Davos meeting now recommends and makes films about this superfood. I would like to share a small story. I was posted in Bombay, and on promotion, I had gone to Madhya Pradesh since our farm was there. So I like to keep going back to Madhya Pradesh. So some journalist, she was doing an article in Maharashtra in Hindustan Times about the kuposhan of the children in Maharashtra, because unfortunately we have a very high incidence of malnourishment in children in Maharashtra. So she bumped into a friend of mine, and he advised that although he belongs to IARS, but he thinks that he has the answer to this malnourishment. So she spoke to me on phone, and I was the CIT TDS that time for Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So I explained to her, it's about, I'm talking of somewhere in 2007. Uh, and I told her how, moringa leaves has 18 amino acid, all 9 essential amino acid, 7 times the vitamin C of orange, 4 times the vitamin A of carrot, 4 times the calcium of milk, 3 times the potassium of banana, 2 times the protein of yogurt. Not enough. The A, B1, B2, B3, C, vitamin C is very high, 7 times more than the, orange. Zinc, in fact, this is very important. I don't know why people are not talking about it to fight COVID. Some of the more knowledgeable people, if you hear, they talk of these minerals. If you have these mineral-rich nutrition food, your immune system is very high. So in this, I feel moringa should occupy the prime place, along with guduchi, along with cinnamon, along with raw turmeric, with pepper and natural honey, all these. So luckily we have them all. Vetiver also is the latest which somebody sent me. Anyways, so I got carried away, and I told this journalist that, I don't understand why these idiots and scoundrels don't grow moringa in every school and pluck the fresh leaves and give it in the midday meal. Suddenly the whole generation, nobody would be malnourished. No woman would die while giving childbirth due to lack of hemoglobin. Because if you eat these leaves even for a month, your hemoglobin becomes perfectly normal. So this is a miraculous mother's tree, whatever. Now the West is, that time nobody was talking of this. She asked me, shall she write that? I said, no, drop the second one, and it's okay. In any case, I thought she would write it on some third page. Who's going to read this? And for an hour we discussed. And next day morning, I received a phone call from a IS friend of mine. He called me. He called me that you called us idiots. I said, what happened? Then I saw the Hindustan Times. It was on the front page. On the bottom, the entire portion was this. And then I told him, you don't know what has been dropped. So nature has extremely simple solutions. I don't know why do we not tend to do the simple things. Now many people are talking about it. I don't know how many of them are implementing it. We were doing this. I eat moringa, like I come back from my office and I eat 5 grams of small teaspoon full of moringa, and early in the morning 5 grams. Is brilliant for your sugar. It is brilliant for every nutritional requirement of your body. Is this good? So this is moringa. We have them in plenty, and 10,000 of them to be precise, and want to grow it more. So one of my friend from MIT, he visited our farm. He's a part of that group which predicts about the environmental disaster looming large, and their predictions are very accurate. So he visited our farm and he told me that if you're talking, so many people grow moringa, then the prices of drumstick would crash. I said, let it crash, but at least they'll have health. And secondly, the pods of that, if you cold press oil, men oil, is a very good quality oil. So then in the second phase, we would start producing so much of oil, and the DOC which remains, because we would have to recycle all our water. That DOC, decomposed, when after taking the oil out, that is a brilliant thing to treat water. The filthiest, the nala ka pani can be treated by this DOC of moringa and can be made drinkable. So wherever you have malnourishment, you have moringa, and it is good for the as a fodder also there, because it is very rich in iron. So the milk, this thing, both quality and quantity go up significantly. So this is normally people ask me that such forest would take time to grow. To them, this is a picture of my son's farm. Now he's a lawyer working for almost 2.5 years. So from his saving, he's bought his first half an acre of, quarter of an acre of a farm in Bihar. And not an inch of soil you can see. This is year one. I'll show some more photographs. Uh, yeah. So yeah, this is the farm now. So about 6 months back, 1 year back, it was barren. I mean, it was the normal farm with tilling and everything. Now, if we see carefully, we see vetiver. We see these on the left-hand side, that tall lemon plant, that is Gandharaj lemon. Incidentally, that lemon sells to a bong, and anyone from Assam and from eastern part of the country, they're exposed to it. As the name suggests, Gandha is smell, king of smell. So this lemon sells from premium. I mean, in our bigger cities, anywhere between 30 rupee to 40 rupee a piece. So this is a Gandharaj lemon, the left-hand side plant. In 1 year, it has become this tall. Wherever you can see this grass, and cowpea or the tuar we have already harvested once. And again, after 4 5 rains, Ampharm and all that happened in between, and it is back to a plant, and it is continuously fixing nitrogen. Where's the need for uprooting them? So this is a multi-layer farm. Again, the same 1 year. The moringa is going up. Tuar is beneath that, and beneath that is turmeric, and somewhere guavas, and so everything is planted in the year one. So grow with gay abandon, grow with follow nature essentially. And this is the Lakadong turmeric, as I mentioned. And beneath that, if we are careful, we can see those touch me not. Those touch me not is an amazing, amazing herb, and very good source of food for the bees. So, and they fix nitrogen also. So amazing this thing. If we are aware of, there are many things. In fact, I do not recognize which are the herbs. So some of my friends who are knowledgeable, they tell me. So that's Mother Nature for you. And this is the lemon which I wanted. I get absolutely, uh, stunned by the beauty and the fragrance of this lemon. You have to try to believe that what this specific variety does, and when grown correctly, the skin of this is anti-cancerous. Skin of any rough lemon, when grown correctly, is anti-cancerous because it turns your body alkaline. And if your body is alkaline or 7.4 or whatever, you would never get cancer. Simple things to do is to eat lemon and as well as the skin of that in whichever form. Drink vetiver water. The South was aware of vetiver water, but now we are going back on our traditions. Vetiver water was a very smart thing to do. So we would have something like 5 crore vetiver on our farm. This is the Gandharaj lemon. And the result of this is some of the testimonials. We take no money from anyone who's suffering in life, because I personally feel that the world has gone what it is today because people's greed, be it corporate, be it anyone. So everybody's is at a fault. So gone are the days when people were large-hearted and they were willing to share. They were happy with whatever they had got. Yeah, I don't know how much accumulation people want. This more loyal than the king. So those guys told us that in the season now you reduce the price. I said, but we give you turmeric round the year, even when there is no season, and our turmeric is, a no-till naturally grown turmeric. So, anyways, he did not say. No, anyone else would have gone to his my friend, the CEO. I have a lot of. I mean, my farming is, and even out of 5 layer, even if you are able to sell 1 layer, is a higher return than anything. So I shrugged it off. As a result of which, all our turmeric has become more than 2 years old. Now it is magical. I want to share it with the world that a 2-year-old turmeric cures your rheumatic arthritis like left, right, center. Anyone in my place would keep it, make money. I am a DG. So if I tell people that will cure you, you give me 25,000 rupee before and 25,000 once you get cured. You know how many people suffer from rheumatic arthritis in this world? 7 crore. Stunning. With a more than 2 years old turmeric grown like this with pepper and honey, with moringa, they are all anti. क्या होगा? बोला कैंसर हो जाएगा. मैंने फिर क्या होगा? बोला कि सारा बिक जाएगा 20 बीघा. तो क्यों करते हो? Now he grows his papaya organically, and for the rest of this thing, We have made our farmers like this. They were not like this. We have brainwashed them that you cannot grow them without pesticide, all in the name of science. And what I'm saying is go vertical. So the moment you occupy the vertical space where, 70 feet space hitherto not occupied, the whole idea is so simple, embarrassingly simple. So that is why I go back to that, that German philosopher's saying, the hardest thing to see is what is in front of your eyes. How argumentative, how this thing, what I'm saying is so simple. The same land, for God's sake, is capable of, at different heights, different trees and plants. And plants have life. They are happy when they are together. Plants, now this is not fiction. This is proven beyond point. Documentaries have been made that, plants communicate to each other. When a plant is unwell, the other plant, supports it. When a plant is hungry, the other plant gives food. So therefore, I never cut the head of a moringa tree for harnessing the leaf. We are able to sell some and cure people. So we, with folded hand, we go to our, trees and say that it is meant for curing people, and little bit of the poor people who are there on the farm to support them. And we harness them sensibly, never cut the head of the tree. You would get nothing. So it needs to be grown correctly. It needs to be harvested correctly. So the moment we think in terms of giving back to Mother Nature, she would surprise you. You just cover the soil correctly. We have vetiver, we have tuar, we have moringa, we have guavas, pink pepper, we have bay leaf, we have tej patta, we have yam, we have turmeric, we have now we have started putting this. See, this is a neem tree, and the guduchi is 70, 75 feet tall, right till the top. You have guduchi or the vine on that tree. It's amazing that the professor in JNU he told us that the Tamil call it Amrita. His name is correct. It's amazing for in terms of improving your immune system. And these are our desi papaya. Pink pepper we grow, this papaya, desi banana, and yeah, now we have started doing the wine. Other than the guruchi also, we are putting shatavar and pan to begin with. And this is a moringa tree. Pan again is very medicinal in terms of digestion, in terms of, bringing your sugar down. For cancer also, brilliant if had together. So now imagine we have 10,000 of moringa and another couple of thousand of miscellaneous other trees, another 10,000 of lemon. And together we have at both farms 40,000 of citrus. We can and merrily grow one vine or the other. And those who want to, normally I don't like to discuss the commercial side because I follow Fukuoka. Fukuoka said farming is not even about growing. Farming is about perfecting a human being. I believe in that adage, but those, as Sant Sinchwal told, that to the poor you say that how much revenue. So revenue like this pan, 6 rupee is the price of one leaf, and every year one this thing of plant on the moringa tree would have minimum 1,000 leaves. We don't harness them all. Even if we do, 500 of them. Whether I've got it, no, not yet because of the COVID, we could not. But I have a firm buyer, because who does the value addition also. He's come visited our farm, so he's making something out of that. And even I know how to do the value addition because we have both honey and this. So sky is the limit. If you have 10,000 this thing, how much more money do you need? I see my 250 tons of possibly the world's best turmeric is capable of curing so many corona patients currently. I'm not saying this. The Lucknow University, some professors have arrived at that conclusion. I have the cutting where turmeric and neem, they're saying, are a cure. I have the report where clinical trials have proved that natural honey is a cure. I also have a testimonial of a friend. He's a doctor, the allopathy doctor, that to a DM in Germany, Indian, married to a German. He sent me a testimonial that how with our anise hyssop honey, he could recover corona. He believed in that. Now, the latest is even vetiver roots water. If you drink, it turns your body alkaline, and therefore, a toxicity of water inside your body is also treated. So I see it from that point of view. But our papayas, I'm not able to grow enough. They sell for a 40 rupee. No farmer is able to sell it for 40 rupee. Some of our papaya trees have yielded 300 kgs over a period of 5 years. That is the power of soil. It is not the, Taiwani that 1.5 lakh rupee, 1.25 lakh rupee, most expensive seed in India. That is another thing. If we don't protect our seed, we are gone.
How large does the farm have to be for these kinds of yields? Perhaps you can say a few words about that, and also re-emphasize the fact that you started off with these seed balls.
Yes.
And the propagation, the broadcast was all done using those methods.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. So as I was saying, now we have grown, in confidence. I'll just show you in case of if I have to raise a food forest from scratch. This is how we would go about it. So there are two trees which have literally intermingled. The same plants, two different photographs. One is a moringa, one is a tejpatta plant. So tejpatta remains down and moringa goes up. So the per square feet occupation is, say, not even a square foot. And now we have two massive trees. One has gone above, one is beneath that. Now we would put the vine on these, and beneath that we have turmeric. And so suddenly the productivity of this farm, and plus the bees, which have food round the year, and the papayas, the bananas beneath that. This is a Agastya plant. So this is a 4-year-old natural farm. So what we do is, since we follow Fukuoka, so we make seed balls. We have seed ball machines also now, because we are not only into farming, we are into all kinds of seeds, all kinds of native seeds. And this is the cheapest. One seed ball machine in a day does 20,000 in number of seed balls. One seed ball contains 3 seeds minimum at an average. So 60,000 seeds are put inside a good soil cover. This soil can be from mineral-rich soil, which can be taken from a pond, this thing of the pond, and again put it on a chalni and take the finer this thing. Even a simpler thing is take the the white ant that उसका जो bill है. Very few people understand that in the tropical country, white ants are active for 9 months. This Bhaskar Save Saab told me. I had met him twice. He was an amazing man, Gandhian. So in my second meeting, I told him, हमारे खेत में दीमक बहुत हो गया. तो उन्होंने बोला खुश हो, give him food, give them food. Then I read extensively that how they are a brilliant soil makers, scavengers, and they never attack the green. And in tropical countries, earthworms are active only in the wet season. It's the white ant which is active for the rest part of the year. And now if you go to tell a farmer this, you say, शहर का आदमी क्या जानता है? But the biggest proof is in eating the pudding. This is a 4-year-old natural food forest. We started with the seed balling and planting vetiver all across, and planting all other trees together. On the right hand side is an Agastya tree, which is again they fix nitrogen, and again a miraculous tree. The leaves of this can be had. We've just forgotten our traditions. In Karnataka, they call it Agathi. Agathi they were aware of earlier. But anyone who's a Kaf Pradhan, this thing in Ayurveda, this Agastya leaves are amazing. These flowers are brilliant. So essentially, this is a 4-year-old natural forest. The productivity of it is minimum 400% higher when two trees grow together. So instead of a normal 400, it becomes 800. On the periphery, again, you have trees and and that we have no money. So we started planting these, lemon, the special lemon. I'll try to show if I have it on this thing from Assam. It has very strong thorns. And Karonda. Karonda, Princeton University has a research which says that in certain kinds of cancer, that is the best herb. So it's a natural fence all across the farm, and which is productive. Bougainvillea is a good idea, which we have not been able to do so far. This year we'll do that. Again, good source of food for the bees. Now, the moment you start thinking of the birds and the bees and the earthworms and the white ants and the other, in fact, frankly, on our farm, even the leopard comes, because we have driven them out of their habitat. Where is the forest?
Sorry to interrupt you, sir, but there's a whole set of questions that have also come up on the chat. So I was wondering if we could sort of cover some of those points.
Sure.
A lot of them have to do with vetiver. So in a sense, questions about how do you get vetiver, etc. And then some people have responded to those questions. But perhaps you can also sort of re-emphasize this part about the no-till, the multi-layer, which you've talked about quite a bit. But also, how much land might be necessary? What is the minimum amount of land necessary? What is the kind of investment needed for someone who's just starting out? A couple of those things, and then we can see.
Three things. And in this on the screen is the black turmeric. Again, an amazing this thing which Rama would testify. She has just joined. She's a brilliant researcher, and it is very high in camphor content. The natural camphor content. This black turmeric. It is now it is qualified as a endangered species, and there's a lot of demand for this in the international market. So I keep telling all my natural farming friends, together let's grow it to a level where we can go back to the government and say that please take it out of the endangered species. Coming back to vetiver. Vetiver, I discovered is one of the best way, as I mentioned, in Chiang Rai Institute in Thailand. The Thailand king is the main patron of vetiver now. As I said, that the whole world has adopted it except the country of its origin. And so there they did a very simple experiment that they planted two, imli plants of the same age. And one of them was surrounded by vetiver and one without it. The difference was the one surrounded with vetiver grew 5 times faster. So that proves the point that plants basically require, upkeep and the maintenance for first 2 years. Vetiver is good enough to take care of that. And so anything that you want to grow, be it papaya, be it banana, be it imli, be it mango, be it lychee, be it anything, you surround it with vetiver. So what we did, since now we have plenty of vetiver, we started with 1 lakh, now we have more than 5 crore. The GKVK University sells one vetiver slip for 3 rupee. Swaminathan Foundation sells it for 5 rupee. The other day, some friend from Gurgaon told me he bought it for 20 rupee. Someone in Pune is selling it for 15 rupees. This is all ridiculous. To a poor farmer, I give my vetiver for 50 paisa. For a rich farmer, I give it at 1 rupee a piece, the slip. And half the proceed goes to gifting vetiver to Eco Task Force. We are determined that we will change this. Till government does not recognize the goodness of this, we'll do it. And no organization is better than Eco Task Force. Those are the great institution in our country. It's a privilege that they are with us and they understand this. They are seeing the efficacy of this. This is bringing back water. This is cooling Mother Earth in the driest, in the toughest of zone, ranging from Pithoragarh to Samba to Marathwada to Gangaji. Gangaji, you heard General Chaturvedi saying that day. You know how those drainage, which were all the nalas, the dirty, filthy water which was coming to Ganga, they could treat it with vetiver and kaina, and again also stabilize the slope of river system with vetiver. So it is phenomenal for agriculture, phenomenal for every bit, whether in the urban space, whether in the rural space, whether in the Western Ghats, whether in the Himalayas. In my view, vetiver is and it is native to India, mind you. So perfectly fine, and it can tolerate temperature from 50 degrees to minus 15 degrees of all kinds of soil. The Tatas, the Munnar tea state, they were aware. I don't know why are they not taking it further. And so they cover their mulch with vetiver. And essentially, if I completely, I understand this. You look at the, the produce on this farm, they're filled with vetiver. A few more photographs I can show. Yeah, this post that Amphan, it rained so heavily, and those white spots are the that Ola Vrishti in Purnia in Bihar, and right next day, every bit of water which had fallen was absorbed. It is due to the vetiver. Because it's so you don't need to even dig. So just imagine it recharges your groundwater, it holds your topsoil, it holds the moisture. On my brother's farm, unfortunately I don't have the photograph now, the soil was completely compacted. He's taken a 7 acres farm near Umaria. He was the first secretary in the embassy in Mauritius. Resigned 1 year before his usual retirement. He teaches the tribal children there, and he's growing this. And along with the vetiver, when he grows, the most compacted soil is gone. Now the bees have come back there because it holds the moisture. So, and there were harada. Harada is a Triphala. There are three. This thing, Avla, Harra, Bahera. That Harra tree, which was never fruiting, has started fruiting because of the vetiver. So it's an amazing, amazing thing which recharges your groundwater. So what we do when we start now laying down the foundation of a natural food forest, the first and foremost principle is cover the soil with green, which the vetiver we have now in plenty. And in any case, if you don't have it in plenty, you start with it, and they keep multiplying. They multiply 10 to 20 times per annum. So even if you start with 1,000, it is 20,000. Next year it is 2 lakh. Next year it is 20 lakh, 2 crore. So that is Mother Nature for you. And tuar seeds are not expensive. Throw them with a seed ball, throw them with vetiver. So the tuar goes up, vetiver is beneath. Inside you grow turmeric, and also you plant, either a stump of moringa with a gobar on top, so that it does not have water inside, or with the seeds you grow them. So the moringa would go on top, and beneath that you also grow your lemon, your guava, your papaya, your everything. And in case if you feel that there is too much of sunlight to be blocked, prune it. Whatever you have pruned which falls on the ground becomes a fertilizer and a mulch. It is this simple. You just need to have confidence and reverence for Mother Nature to follow.
About the labor requirements for these kinds of processes then?
Much less, much less. Because once you're only there for harvesting, and post retirement, I am determined to do the physical work. And
But some of
yeah,
the management of the plants and making sure that so making sure that the layers are maintained and all that, is that some activity that is required over time, or
not at all. Now, since now we have some experience, so it is this simple. In the same bag we grow a moringa and a lemon cutting. Now we have 40,000 of extraordinary lemon on our farms. So theoretically, we can make something like 4 to 5 lakh plants every year. That is again Mother Nature for you. So in the same bag, we plant one stick of, and we dip it in aloe vera. Aloe vera is a very good healer. Sharp cut, dip it in aloe vera, plant in that bag, 2/3 of which is biomass, 1/3 good soil, and one seed of moringa, and maybe one vetiver. So it's a small mini forest in a bag only.
So, sir, is the farmers who are next to you, next to your farm, have they begun to adopt some of your practices?
You see, this is a very often asked question. I am not a social reformer. I am very clear in my mind, because it is dangerous. What I am doing is quite dangerous, because at stake is a lot of industry. You don't require so much of medicine. You don't require chemical fertilizer at all, which is 18,000 crore worth of industry. 18 lakh crore. 70,000 crore is the fertilizer subsidy. Pesticide is 90,000 crore. Seed business is another 1 lakh crore. I'm not a social reformer. Those who want to understand and follow, and they understand, as Sant Sinchwal told me, that to the poor, you say that there is money. I have a roadmap, in case if we are able to convince 1 lakh consumers that if you want to survive, you have to eat from such natural produce. Forget organic is passé. This is which is curative. This is which has nutrient all, because the soil is alive. There was a famous environmentalist. He wrote that by tilling, we are causing third-degree burn to Mother Earth. And when we till and irrigate, it causes a fever and chill to the soil. We need to understand that. And so, the first thing is growing correctly. Second is growing is embarrassingly simple. Just grow them together and cover every inch of soil and put lots of nitrogen fixing plants. In our case, we have Agastya tree. A tree would fix far more nitrogen than anything else. We have Subabul, again fixes enormous amount of nitrogen and a good fodder. And we have Glaricedia on the periphery, again fixes nitrogen. We have lots of yam. Yam is amazing. With so much of drinking going around, the yam is very good for your liver, along with the turmeric, again. And it's a natural blood thinner, and they fix enormous amount of nitrogen. We have sweet potato, again fix nitrogen. We have tuar, which we do not uproot, again fixes nitrogen. Enough. And above all, vetiver, which holds the topsoil, which holds the moisture. So everything is towards, reverence for Mother Nature, and a little bit of our knowledge about that the soil requires nitrogen fixing.
There's a question from Mr. Sanjay Kapoor.
Yes.
Maybe he can ask the question. Just make sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Please.
Are you able to ask your question, Mr. Sanjay? And for some reason, I think he's not able to.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Praveen Soni.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to ask you one question. How we can take conventional crops in this system?
Yeah. Good question.
Because in your photographs, we see mostly trees and
forest,
which you want.
Yeah.
But please speak something what we want.
Yeah. Two things, because like as I say, I'm a purist.
Yeah.
I don't eat wheat. Wheat I have grown. In fact, by seed balling, you throw this, wheat comes up. So I have stopped eating wheat. Wheat is a wretched grain, especially the current dwarf variety. It causes cancer. It is full of sugar, and it causes obesity. People have written books, wheat belly. So I believe in that. Dr. Hegde also talks about that. Now many people are talking about it. I am aware of this for a long time. So I don't, but everything is possible to grow in this. We grow amaranth. Amaranth is an amazing, grain, pseudo grain. So once established, they don't die. They keep growing on their own. So let us grow simple things. We grow bajra, jawar. We grow makka. So these are things that we grow, and unfortunately, we have two different geographies. We have farms. My personal view is that you should not grow rice in Punjab. It is stupid. We are, repleting the underground water for nothing. Rice should only be grown where there is adequate rain, which is northeast, which is coastal belt, which is in Bihar. We have a farm, so we have this year we are experimenting with a great no-till rice. I'm sure we'll get something. And so all the grains that, and Soni Saab, going the future, I have read enough, which says that everything will change. There would be cassava, there would be jackfruit ka atta, there would be mahua ka atta, there would be this cassava, what is grown in Kerala. The world has already started having them. Uska atta. Millets are phenomenal. We have all millets can be grown, the kodo millet, the little millet, the barnyard millet, the foxtail millet. All of it can be grown. Amaranth can be grown. Enough. And in any case, I don't want to grow grains for the family and friends. Beyond that, I'm perfectly happy, growing trees and bees, and herbs and everything. I mean, the rest of it is here. World would have to change its way of eating.
You mentioned that your son has a food forest in a very small farm, right? About an acre.
Yes.
So does
an acre.
that raise
1 year old.
because we have a few people here who are also very interested in urban uh, farming and so on.
Yeah.
Uh, Consider those kinds of small scale backyard
Sure.
forests and so on. So do you think that's an easy?
Absolutely. Absolutely doable. I'll tell you another thing, like we have that tour you have seen. Let me see if I can again bring that after the harvest, how well have they grown? Yeah, like this. So this is after the harvest. You can still see. So again, even in the for the livelihood mission, I am advising this. Now there are some seeds. Next year we are introducing one in Ambikapur in Chhattisgarh. They have a seed which a tuar tree happens. 3 to 5 kg of tuar they get. So, and they are fixing nitrogen. It's like a tree and it's perennial kind of. And unfortunately, some of these farmers, I get very angry. They start selling these seeds for 750 rupee a kilo to 600 rupee a kilo to 500 rupee a kilo. This is so unfair. Make it reasonable. At 200 rupee a kilo, my son has produced 2 quintals. So he has, there are so many of my friends who would be perfectly thrilled with, that even 150 rupees, 30,000 rupees, one crop. And look at his lemon, look at his papaya, look at his vetiver. And yeah, everything is possible. And what you want to grow in a smallish farm, it gives you clean food, which is, in my view, is the most important thing. Still, you will get some surplus. I'm very sure of this. The moment it is this simple, if the same land supports, at different height, different crops, the productivity is minimum 400% from the year one. And what you have grown is turmeric. And why allow the turmeric to remain in this soil? But the moment it becomes 2 year old, every family has some sugar, some rheumatic arthritis, some form of cancer. You are able to effectively, in that small plot of land, save your life, which is so important. Why do you want to get a cancer and spend all your lifetime saving? If you eat food from such farms, you would never get cancer. That is for sure.
Is there anybody else in the audience who wants to ask a question of Mr. Patanjali? I mean, there are a few things in the chat, but I think he's more or less covered a lot of ground. You can raise your hand or directly ask your question. I think somebody's unmuted themselves. You're allowed to unmute yourself now, so you can ask.
Yeah, sir. This is Sudhir here. I had one question. Where do we get this, the seed balls that we are looking for? Basically, I understand vetiver and even guduchi is used much in Mangalore and coastal region. We use the Amritarishta and other things. We have small gardens kind of thing. Can we get some seed balls or the vetiver? There are dry vetivers we get called lavancha.
Yeah.
So can those roots be used, sir?
Of course. No. Just the roots would not. You have to have a slip, a little bit of grass on top and little bit of root beneath. They're used as a slip, and once planted, they multiply 10 to 15 times. Sometimes in good soil, 20 times. I've seen even 30 times. So they multiply, and let me tell you one thing: the best thing to have in most of these herbs is to have them in their raw form. Right? That is true of raw turmeric. That is true of guduchi. So or make a concoction of that with cinnamon, with black pepper, with long. Long is amazing. We have some long trees also there. So it is limitless possibility. I mean, I clearly see that, if your educating people. I'll give you some statistics to get a perspective. If 1 lakh families decide to be the consumer only of natural produce, and there are, currently already I know farmers worth 10,000 acre who are doing this broadly, this kind of a farm. So the moment one family spends 50,000 rupees per annum for these grains, for these herbs, for these produce. So the total, this thing is something like 50,000 into 1 lakh is how many zeros? 500 crore?
Yeah.
Yeah, 500 crore, Sudhir ji. And the valuation of which is 10 times. And once you start curing your rheumatic arthritis, once you start curing your sugar, once you start curing your cancer, would it not spread like wildfire?
Absolutely, sir.
And another 1 crore happens then?
It will be huge. Actually, sir, one other point.
50,000 crore valuation is, which is 5 lakh crore. Why would it not happen? But why restrict it to India?
True, sir. Sir, one other thing. So one other thing on carbon credit you have taken, it's a very, very critical point, and I think that is going to make a sea change in everywhere actually.
This is what we are saying to the corporates, and they should. I mean, if they are logical, you see, there's so much of double speak all around. You know, they talk of sustainable growth, sustainable development. What we are talking of is regenerative enterprise. Truly, I mean, anything which does so many things at the same time, which cures you of cancer, which lowers temperature, which puts water inside, which puts so much of carbon sink, 1 lakh kilo per acre. And productivity is higher, livelihood, everything, which is a bigger idea than this. And why only to this, our country? Why not in Australia? Why not in Africa? Why not in anywhere where you have, because I understand where the sunlight is. So there would be specialists for other temperate zone. But the point is to utilize the space above here in our country. That I understand. It's embarrassingly simple. The sooner we do it, we can save ourselves.
There's an interesting question.
Thank you, sir.
Rooftops. Do you have any advice for people who are trying to develop natural farming methods on rooftops?
Absolutely. In fact, Mr. Rajan, my initial learning of everything was through Professor Doshi, R.T. Doshi, who was a Padma Shri of those times when Padma Shri was venerated. Amazing couple. They lived in Bandra and they had a rooftop. He was perhaps the pioneer among the first. So what he would do is a simple thing is that they were in Bandra sugarcane juice tailor fellows. So the BMC would come and trouble them. So he had told them that you bring all your waste to our home. So they'll bring it and he'll put them in bags, those perforated bags, and fill it with that. Put very little soil on top and put seeds and leave the rest to Mother Nature. I learned it is this simple. Because in Bombay it rains, and then he would recycle everything which was recyclable, he would put it in those bags, and he could grow practically everything. So only 1% barely from his house, anything will go out of the house. We have done that in Bhopal when we were living in a house under a tree, bale tree. We used to do this. I mean, there's no need to dig a pit or anything. I mean, nature does everything. And brilliant amount of soil, the cleanest food, vegetables and everything he was able to grow. Yes, it's a very good idea to do a rooftop this thing. Again, the sunlight would get absorbed and would not bounce back. Fantastic. But don't go by, some of these professionals who would come and tell you many stories. You give me so much, we'll maintain it for you. Do it yourself. And as you can look up R.T. Doshi. He wrote one small booklet. He was a lazy man like me, but he had patented few things. Amazing couple. So
we have a question from Mr. Rajiv as well. He's raised his hand.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mr. Jha.
Yes.
Sir, hello, I'm Rajiv this side.
Hi. Sorry, I totally lost track of time. I thought, let me just see the tail end if I can catch you people.
No, why not?
And I wanted to say hello to Mr. Jha also.
Sure.
So,
Hello.
hi. So this looks very nice what you're showing, but I'm sorry I missed out on the talk, but I asked one of the other colleagues to have a,
Yeah.
just a minute.
In 2 minutes, I can summarize it for you.
Yeah.
What we practice is a no-till multi-layer farm. And I see this as a panacea and the solution to 5 major issues, which is confronting us now, which is going to get deteriorated, which is one is a cancer. 10% of our Indian population, they say, may get cancer in their lifetime. WHO says this. ICMR says every 8th Indian male, every 9th Indian woman may get it. And so that is one. Second is temperature. 1 degree temperature has increased in the last 10 years. And going forward, UN says that 1.5 degree remains, we would survive, but other vertebrae, 30% would die. I say that Indians are capable of reversing this. Forget further increase of 1.5 degree. The third is water. Now 65% of the population is water stress in our country. Underground water has gone to incredible levels, 1,000 feet. Small rivers are dead. Big rivers, river flow has reduced by 60%. Any rivers crossing through a city has become a nala. And the fourth is the soil, which is very few people understand. Our soil has become one of the worst soil on earth. I'm not saying this, UN says this. And this is by way of tilling, what we are causing. And fifth is the unemployment. Every month, 10 lakh people become eligible to work. No manufacturing, no service sector can employ so many people. So the solution is what we were practicing since almost 2 decades, which is in a place which is the hottest in India, where temperature now goes to 50 degrees and stays. So there on our farm, temperature is 36 degree because the multi-layered, the same land at different height supports different crops. This is a simple, no till, no poison, no chemical fertilizer, no pesticide, either of organic kind or of chemical kind. Not needed. You have created biodiversity by virtue of, the moringa on top, beneath that citrus, alongside banana, papaya, beneath that tuar, vetiver. Vetiver is a very critical thing. It's a perennial grass. 4 vetiver is equal to 1 tree. And beneath that, we have turmeric and yam and sweet potato. Now we have started putting the vine on trees. We have neem trees laden with guruchi. Moringa trees have now pan. So even in Bihar, we have another farm where this is a 1-year-old farm. We have apiary in Bihar. Now we are producing 30,000 kg of honey there, monofloral honey. So, असंख्य संभावना अगर आप करना चाहें तो खेती में सबसे ज़्यादा संभावना है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है. और the proof is in eating the pudding. It is on 2 different geographies. So sometimes people ask me, what about the arid zone? I say, वहाँ पर दूसरे species ढूंढ लेंगे. Tuar grows, the custard apple grow कर लें. Or moringa grows, this is common. Vetiver again, if planted in the rainy season, it survives. आंवला कर लेंगे. आंवला फिर बेल चढ़ा लेंगे. Main मुद्दा ये है कि there is a further thing which I have not discussed so far, is the किसान की सबसे बड़ी त्रासदी ये है कि अगर हमने कोई चीज, एक तो बहुत महंगे इनपुट हमने कर दिए, इसमें कोई इनपुट है ही नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं, ना खाद, ना बीज, ना नथिंग एक्सेप्ट हिज लेबर एंड नॉलेज. और दूसरा, अगर बहुत आयत में कोई चीज हो जाए तो उसकी प्राइस गिर जाती है. You know, when you have some tomato or a potato or anything, which invariably happens. So the only thing which, when we combine our forest, food forest, where the temperature from the year 1 is 2 degrees lower, and we government's policy, current government's policy is setting up of 5,000 CBG plants in the country, across the country, where they take your residue, you know, the shavings of vetiver. Vetiver has a lifespan of 100 years. The shavings of a little bit of tuar, a little bit of subabul, bamboo in the year 1, and they pay you 1.5 rupee to 2 rupee, depending on what kind. And vetiver, incidentally, I am in touch with Praj Industries. Amazing guys. They're a world leader number one when it comes to, you know, biofuel. So aviation fuel is possible now. They're the world leader in even aviation fuel. So they were saying Napier grass is capable of producing aviation fuel. Then vetiver would definitely qualify. My dream is, we have gifted 1.5 crore vetiver to Eco Task Force, which has currently become 15 crore in 8 different locations, which is doing 1,400 tons of carbon sink currently. And with every year it will multiply by 7 times. So within 3 to 4 years, it is capable of doing 1 lakh tons of carbon sink. That's Indian Army, and that's Mother Nature for you. So it is this simple. If you build our development along with nature, a little bit of knowledge, nothing, no difficult thing. We just need to have faith. And the CBG, just imagine if they have 20,000 crore, what I was requesting, we have a very evolved Vice Chairman Niti Aayog, extremely evolved person. Rama had taken us to him. He gave us 45 minutes of time. And, you know, in the end, he shook hands with us and he said that I'm thankful to you for making me a part of your mission.
Yeah.
But I was basically requesting him that you make available 1 lakh acre of army land to Eco Task Force, again, a part of the army, you know, and combine it with CBG. It is government, there is no expenditure needed. And the bonus is everything which I talked about. 10 lakh strong armed forces, they would eat clean food, fruits, moringa, they will not fall ill.
Yeah.
We're running out of
So,
time. There's one last question I did want to make sure that you gave an answer to from Arun Dikshit. He says, do you give training to practitioners? So perhaps you can talk about whether you have any training programs, any way in which you can provide support to people who come to your farm.
You know, like, as I repeatedly say, that it's embarrassingly simple. You just need to come. You have visited our farm. You can become a farmer. What's the big deal? Just grow them together in the year 1. Have faith in Mother Nature and leave it. But yes, of course, I mean, anyone can. We have a group of about, you know, I think loosely, Soni Saab, 200 people in 2-3 different groups. Some are purists, where it is a blasphemy to talk of anything other than Fukuoka. One of my friend, Raju Bhai, he practiced. He was a purist. So he practiced. They say he came to our farm. He said that time that yours is the, because we are you know, 5 partners, of which or 6 partners in 60 acres of land. My father has 10 acres of land. So this is perhaps the biggest natural farm. It's such a shame. So now that is changing. There are many who have joined, my friends and others who are doing it on a little larger scale. And results are very good, stunning in all geographies. Let's have faith on trees and bees and Mother Nature. And yeah, it is not because, you know, I have again reservations about those who make it sound difficult and Tom, you have to learn the course and the design and where is the design? Yeah, you just go vertical. Choose the plants right, which is simple. Which area do you come from? Let us get down, put our traditional knowledge, and most of it would be common. Guava would be common, mostly, I say. Tuar would be common, vetiver would be common, moringa would be common, quite a few places. Neem would be common at most places. Some jackfruit would be common in many places. Start growing.
Mm. Yeah.
Mr. Rajan, how much time do we have?
Can I also say
How much
something?
time do we have?
We're closing around now, but maybe.
Yeah, Rama first.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just want to say two things. One is, I think Patanjali, you missed out a little bit on the vetiver, on how it also helps in stopping the soil erosion along the river banks, and also leads to, if you plant that and trees along the river bank, vetiver and trees along the river banks, it leads to water purification and water regeneration of the river. So that was one thing. And the other thing was, I wanted to tell everybody that recently the vice chairman of the Niti Aayog had a huge conference with a whole lot of people across the world, including our own principal scientific advisor and agriculture minister, and these kind of people from all over the world. And I think these ideas now are now going to be taken up at a global scale, hopefully, if they convert the talk into action. Right now they're talking about it, so at least they becomes aware of these things, and they realize that this is very important, and this is the only way that could save us, humanity, and the planet. Yeah.
Thank you, Rama. Absolutely. So this is what I say: practice this or perish. You have no option.
Yeah. Well, it's good that people have got to realize this in the government also now. So that's good.
That's what I was saying. We initiated this with Mr. Jha, and we are hoping that we have a sort of an occasional, maybe monthly series of lectures, and I hope all of you will be able to join us. We'll put the word out and make sure that we've been recording this, and we'll put it up on YouTube.